Hello everyone, I'm your host Thomas28 and welcome back to Society Sunlit Valley. Now today, like I said, is the fishing episode. We have a lot of fish to do and a lot of stuff to get going, and our crops are pretty good to leave on their own for now. The tomatoes are growing, they'll be done tomorrow. Let's take a look at this stuff. I don't think this is done yet. Blueberries need a couple more days, so does the oats, and then we do have one melon we can harvest. But everything else is going to have to wait, which is pretty good. Thanks to all the sprinklers, don't have to spend too much time here, and it rained last night, so I don't have to bother about that. Only 3 melons, very little. But to go fishing, I'm going to need a fish radar, but that needs Neptunium. We can also buy fish ponds later on. They're very expensive and take river jelly, but this is how you can automate fishing, or fishing products, I guess is the word. And fish smokers, 65,000. Wow. Anyways though, what we're going to need from this is the tackle box. Now you can also get a worm farm, which is nice. It lets you make worms, but worms are pretty cheap. I don't really care about having to make them ourselves. And I think that's everything. We could also end up buying some hooks if you need them, but they don't need... But the hooks don't change things too much. But I will take this jelly hook, so we can possibly get some jelly. So let's head out here to this. I wonder, what does upgrading the rod do? Because we can also upgrade the rod, but does it do anything? I mean, it's pretty cheap, the iron upgrade, so I might as well do it anyway. But I don't recall if it actually does something. Blacksmith, smithing template, iron ingot, and upgrade this. Minigame bar size. Oh, does it add to the size? Plus 7 pixels. Interesting. So if I look at this one, does it say? Oh, it does. Minigame modifiers. Minigame bar size plus 10 pixels. Okay, so upgrading the fishing rod actually does do something. It increases the size of the little bar when you're fishing. And now that we upgraded the rod, we get access to a little bit of money. Some more money. Safety net. What is a safety net? Not actually sure what that is. That gets you poisonous potatoes, baiting fish, any bait. Oh, I have that, don't I? There it is. There we go, baiting fish, gets you some more worms. And then bobbers can be added to do different effects. I'll take a look at the bobbers later. Usually, bobbers don't matter too much. But since we're doing the mini game, I guess it's going to matter a little bit more. Now, let's go ahead and add our tackle box all the way over here for now. And I wonder what these do, safety net. Oh, we can use them to craft crab traps. Interesting. Now let's go ahead and add our tackle box right here. Hi, Haruna. Go in here, add this and that, and I think that's everything. Take it off. I do like it. It also stores a bunch of stuff for you if you want to. Now there is that fishing spot right there, so I wonder if I can hook it. Okay, I think that counts as it's glowing. Okay, so the little green thing is a lot bigger. Small boat. Wait, we got 2 things? Oh, you get a lot out of fishing. Oh, I guess it's because I fished the spot. So from fishing the spot, we got 3 seashells, Sally sells seashells by the seashore, Syndoditis, smallmouth bass, and a roseate seashell. These are just, yeah, for crafting fertilizer, that's about it. But I was told you can actually take these seashells and crack them open, and you actually, got a diamond out of that, that's really good, to get this raw mussel meat. And someone said you can use this to make a good amount of money, but I don't see how you do that. Because it looks like when you cook it, it just turns into a little bit more. I mean, that's not bad. It's not a bad amount of money. Oh, here comes another one. And grab, let's see what we get this time. Now, I did take a look at the wiki, and it looks like the type of fish you get is dependent on biome, season, weather, and day or night. And fishing gets us how much? We get 100 XP every time we fish, and we need, right now, 4,000. So we have to catch 40 fish to get to level 4. But the reward for doing this is you get a lot of luck, which is really good for a lot of different things. +1 to fish when caught using any rod. +3 maximum row from fish pods. So we don't have access to fish pods yet. So we're going to go up this side to get more fish for more money. Then we're going to get this one for Mystical Ocean. It looks like it's the same, which will get us Neptuna. And Neptuna is important because we can use it on the cutting board to get little pieces of Neptunium, and we need Neptunium ingots in order to upgrade to Iridium sprinklers and also to buy a couple of items. What's a fluid grid? Why do I need to craft a fluid grid though? I never really saw the point of using the fluid grids. But you can see the main thing is going to be crafting the fish ponds with Neptunium ingots, which are pretty important. Once we have this, we can automate some fish, which is pretty fun. And there we go, a full day of fishing. So let's see what we got. So here's all the fish. So a lot of basic fish, couple iridium quality. So it looks like if you want to get iridium quality fish, if you never let them leave the little bobber zone, that's a perfect, and you're guaranteed to get iridium quality. And the price difference is pretty big, as you can see there. That's $30 difference per unit for iridium. And for the leech, that's 70, actually not 70, that's like 68, which is insanely high. Then we also got one treasure chest, which, does it do anything? I guess not. I thought you could, like, open it. Oh, you can. I guess you could also just sell it. And we got a heart of diamond for that, which is 752. And then we got a heart of Neptunium, which we can sell for 4,000. And when we have fishing mastery, we can trade these in to get really neat items. So let's see how much in total a day's worth of fishing is worth. So we're currently at 111. So if we add in everything, we go up to 11,220. So about $11,000. But we should be able to take some of the fish, for example, and maybe if we cook it into something like fish and chips, you can make it worth a lot more. Cabbage rolls, combine cabbage with anything. Interesting. So if you combine anything with, we can combine any cabbage roll ingredient, which is all the fish, with cabbage or lettuce, or I think that's both cabbage, to make cabbage rolls, which is worth a lot more. But for the most part, it seems like most of the fish are just worth selling, unless we smoke them later. Now, I do remember thinking we need river jelly, right, to craft the fish ponds, so I'll keep those. And where do we get Neptunium? Is there no other way? So you can always smelt down the items. Crab traps can get them. I guess it's really just from Neptuna and crab traps. Crab trap bait sometimes gets you it. And crab traps are made from aquamarine, safety net, zinc, and this. So we could probably make some of these. I think we have access to some aquamarine. And I will keep the heart of diamond because you use those to make mana diamonds, and they're pretty rare. So let me go ahead and store this in here. And there's one aquamarine. And where do we get aquamarine from? Okay, so it seems like aquamarine can really only be found from the geode nodes that are rarely found in caves. So I think what I should do is go ahead and get the crystallarium so we can duplicate it every day to get more, because we're going to need quite a lot of these. And I believe one of these was a quest reward. Yeah, for this one, in the vault. What? I'm trying to click out of it. There we go. So once we have 6 iridium coins, we can get one for free and start duplicating it. So I'll put that away for now. Flint can just go into here. And was there anything else I needed to take out of here? I think for now it's worth the money, because we have the adventure product bonus, so that's worth $6,000. And the rest of this can just be sold without too much extra processing, at least until we get access to the smoker, because it looks like that takes a Synodontis from 112 to 448. And I guess this is probably where most of the money is made. Oh, and this is something I recently learned. So when I was talking about preserves and vegetables and saying, oh, they don't preserve the quality, some artisan machines do. So the fish smoker does preserve the quality. So if you put an iridium level fish into the smoker, it comes out iridium level, which will multiply the value even greater. And a fish smoker is made from aquamarine and Neptunium, or we can purchase them for $65,000. Pretty expensive, but with how much money this can make you, you could probably recoup the investment pretty fast. Pretty productive day, I think. Did a little bit more fishing, and got our first Neptune's Bounty. And inside, one piece of Neptunium, and some useless stuff. Driftwood can actually be recycled into fire logs, which is pretty nice. Algae can be recycled into high quality fertilizer, and seagrass does nothing. You can turn it into green dye, or compost it. So it kinda does something. So 2 useful products, and then I think the chest itself doesn't do anything. It's just a chest. So it does chest stuff. That's about it. just a blue chest. It'd be cool if you could like melt it down into a single ingot, I mean not ingot, nugget. Oh, and then someone told me this delightful tip using the cooking pot. Using tomatoes, you can turn them into tomato sauce. And as you can see, it doubles. Is it doubling? Yeah, I believe it doubles the value of a tomato because the sauce sells for 104 and a single tomato sells for like 26. So 2 tomatoes per recipe yields twice as much, which is pretty good. Yeah, you can see a single tomato is 30 and the sauce sells for 104. So if you have a bunch of low quality tomatoes, you could turn them into tomato sauce and make a ton of money. So now we don't need these fish. We'll recycle this, and then I need to recycle the algae. And now that we have our first piece of Neptunium, we can work ourselves towards our first fish pond. Now we just need some pearls, which we can buy them from a ribbit fisher, which I have no idea what that is. Or we can get them from clams on a cutting board, and a clam comes from a crab trap. Huh, that's funny. So once you smoke the clam, you can use ice to turn it back into a regular clam. Not sure why you do want to do that. But crab traps are pretty easy. And then once we get the first clam, we can use it to make more pearls, to make more crab traps. Phenomenal. So let me go ahead and save this and put this away. And I think our battery should be done by now, I think. Has it been 5 days? I'm not actually sure. No, it needs 3 more days. Hello? Who are you? Wandering Baker. Let's do bakery. Huh, do you sell anything useful? Sells very expensive stuff. I don't think you can buy these otherwise, these trees. Everything else though I don't really need. I don't really need cakes. Where did you come from? He just walked onto my farm from nowhere. Another stormy day. Ooh, a box. Let's see. I might be able to hit that with an arrow instead of a rock. Let's see what's inside. And as you can see from the top left, we have $28,000, which means I can now upgrade, or not upgrade. Let me hit this real quick. Got it. We can now unlock the most expensive tier for the thingamabob. Did I get it? No, where'd it go? Should have dropped like right here. Unless it sank to the bottom. Ah, there it is. Got it. 1 balloon box. Now let's go ahead and pop this guy open, and we get gold, iron, money, cotton seeds, and weak fertilizer. Not bad, not bad. I do love free stuff. Because now that we can unlock this guy, vault, and this one, we can unlock the skull cavern and also get the crystallarium. So if we come in here and take out 6 iridium coins, that should be enough. Bundle completed. The vault. Now we can also get the Skull Cavern Teleporter and the Vault Trophy. Purchasing the vault gives you the Skull Cavern Teleporter, your gateway to obtaining prismatic shards. Place it down and right-click to enter, but be sure to come prepared. Mobs in the Skull Cavern has twice as much health and damage. The Skull Cavern Teleporter can also be bought from the guild if it is somehow lost. Nice! Let's go ahead and place this upstairs, and before I do that, I also need to take this aquamarine and the crystallarium, and we'll put this right there, put you in there, so now we can duplicate the aquamarine to get some more. Now if we come upstairs, we'll put it into this room. Skull Cavern Teleporter. Boom. Done. But we're not going to do that today, because this episode is about fishing. So let's also go ahead and place down our vault trophy in our bedroom. Zing. One more trophy for... Why is the mod called Trophers? That's so funny. But now that that's done, and we can multiply our aquamarine, we can make some more crab traps. And then once we have some pearls, we can make even more crab traps. And once we have even more crab traps, we can make even more fishing money. And if you probably noticed, I did have some bamboo growing outside. That was mostly just to make these safety nets. It's a little annoying. So to make a crab trap, you need 2 safety nets, which are crafted from farming rope, which is crafted from straw. And the only way you can get straw is by using a cutting board to strip blocks of bamboo or rice panicles. That seems to be the only way you can get straw, from what I could tell. Yeah, there's no other way to do it. Grassy crops and plants with a knife. Oh, can I just make a knife and then use it on the grass then? Huh, that might be how you're... I think that's what you're supposed to do. Let me try that. Let me see, how do I make a knife? Knife. Different tiers. Do I have to upgrade these as well? You do, okay. Stick and flint. I should have stick, and I should have flint somewhere. Flint. 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 There we go. 1 flint. Make 1 knife. Hunt and gather. So now if I come over here, will this give me straw? It does not seem to be working. Wait, it does work. Okay, it's just not 100%. But if it's not 100%, it's easier just to do the bamboo method, because the straw is guaranteed from stripping the bamboo, and bamboo grows pretty fast. Then in a couple days, 2 to be exact, all our blueberries will be ready for harvest once again, and we're going to make tons of money. Oh, 1 more day. I thought all of this was going to be done, but it's actually just these smaller ones. And then we should have melon in 2 days, a bunch of blueberries. But for now, our aquamarine has doubled, so we can start getting some crab traps. So now we can go ahead and take this aquamarine, make a crab trap. Quest completed. Crab trap. Where is that? Farm building. Over here, crab trap. Crab traps will provide certain fish, junk, or treasure over time. They must be surrounded by a 3x3 of water and be provided with crab trap bait. Neptunium nuggets. Neptunium is a precious material used in crafting advanced fishing gear. It can be found in Neptune's bounty, you fish up, or rarely in crab traps. Oh, so I can actually finish this quest if I just do this and then do that. Here we go. To get 1 more. And then it unlocks the rest of the fishing stuff, the deluxe worm farm, farming fish, the artisan fish smoker, multiplies the value of a fish by 4, and the bait maker. There are occasions where you may need a lot of quantity of one specific fish. The bait maker turns one of any type of fish into targeted bait. This bait can also be placed inside of a crab trap. Nether fish can be caught in crab trap placed in water. Strange. Oh, I see. So you take like a herring, put it in the bait maker, and it makes herring bait, so you'll only catch that type of fish. Interesting. I wonder why you would need one specific type of fish. I mean, I guess like an eyelash fish is 480, so you could take like the most expensive fish, get a bunch of their bait, and then only farm those fish to get a bunch of money. Huh, that was random. Now let's go ahead and place down this guy, take our crab trap bait, and then how do I get more crab trap bait? I think you need that one machine, like the mincer. Now it said you have to place this in a 3x3 of water, but then how do I do that? Because in the Stardew, you just do it like this. But this needs a 3x3, so actually, should I just go down here? And wouldn't that work, because that's a 3x3? Put in the crab trap baits, and then we could just come down here to get it later. Now it said 3x3 of water, so if I put a crab trap directly adjacent, would that still work? I don't think it would, because it says 3x3, so it probably means you cannot share a spot. And here we go. Okay, so we can take worms from aquaculture and just convert them into bait at a 1-to-1 ratio. If we catch minnows, which are year-round, we can get 4, and those leeches that I can catch in the summer convert into 16. Leeches you can only catch at night in the river. So it's not too bad. If you get 16, that's pretty good. Then if we make a mincer, the mincer lets you turn 1 worm into 2, 1 minnow into 16, and 1 leech into 32. Which is pretty good. You get even more out of it. Now to make a mincer, you just need a fire quartz, sturdy stone, block of iron, and iron ingots. That's pretty cheap. What's sturdy stone? Sturdy stone is just cobblestone. And it cannot be moved by pistons. That's a very strange supplementary block. So turn the iron ingot into a block, turn the cobblestone into sturdy stone, and make 1 mincer. And, I guess I should just leave it next to the fish area, because that's mostly where I'm going to be doing... I can't talk. Mostly where I'm going to be doing the mincing anyway. And then later on when we get access to create from lead, we can set up a more automated solution. How do you place this? Oh, there we go. Mincer. It's already got some of that. How do you... There's nothing in it. What do you mean? It's already got some of that. Weird. Well, let me catch a fish and try it. So it said minnows, worms. I should have some worm in here. So if I just have a worm and then do this, it works. Cool. Pretty easy. Now I was finally able to level up. So we have access... Oh, I see a fish. Hold on. There we go. So we have access to the skill that lets us get double the fish every time we catch, which is really good. That means now when I get a leech, we can always get a ton of feed. As you can see, we have a ton of stuff. So now if I take our leeches, this stack of leeches is worth $1,200. But we're going to turn them into bait. The reason we're going to do that is because our crab trap bait should be able to provide more value than just selling the leeches right now. And each leech gets us 32 bait, which is going to last us quite a long time. Now let me open these lock boxes here, and I got lucky with this pearl block, so now we have 9 pearls. Now we can make more crab traps, as you can see there. We can even make a fish pond. So we're going to invest those pearls into more fishing stuff. So let me open these. What did it give me? I cannot tell. Oh, I think it gave me the rare hat grab bag. It's always annoying because that one doesn't tell you, and this one gives you... Ooh, an epic hat grab bag, which gave us the Stinky Cheese Man. That's horrifying. Okay, let's open the Neptune's bounty we got and see what we get. We get 1 Wet Weekly, Neptunium, Message in a Bottle. What do these do? Okay, nothing. Bunch of Driftwood, another Neptunium, more Wet Weekly, and a bunch of algae, which we can turn into more high quality fertilizer. So all in all, pretty solid. I guess the main thing you get out of the Neptune's bounty chest is just the Neptunium ingot. Everything else is just kind of bonus. Like, I'm not going to take the time to turn the driftwood back into the other thing, and then I'll just sell the grab bag. But now we can load up our crab trap over here, and I was taking a look at the mechanics while I was fishing, and it seems like the way it works is actually very simple. So you surround it by water on all sides, make sure it's filled with crab meats, okay, not like that, and every 4,000 to 8,000 ticks, it will consume one of the bait to fish up something. So you kind of do want a lot of them, and then you just leave them all down there and then come back later. Now, I do wonder if I can hopper out of them and hopper into them, because that would make their automation a lot easier. So now we can come in here and make a bunch of crab traps. And I actually have to save 2 of these. Right, it's just 2? Yeah, to make the fish pond. And oak resin, river jelly, oak resin. I think that's everything, right? Crab trap, no, that's not what I want. This guy, pearl. Oh, we need a wooden bucket. So, pearl, wooden buckets. Use the wooden bucket to make fish pond. And there we go. Quest completed. Get a random fish. Synodontis. Fish ponds cultivate fish over time once a single fish is placed in. Roe and other items can be harvested from them, and more items are unlocked at certain fish populations. Sometimes fish will request items in order to grow their population. You'll need a 3x4 of water or lava for netherfish behind the pond according to this professional diagram. As you can see, it's very straightforward. Fish pond, you build a little border and you put the water on the inside. But of course that begs the question, what fish should go inside? Now if we take a look, each fish does different stuff. So actually let me grab one of these. Smallmouth, bass, bluegill, carp, bulty, piranha, arapaima, and circus fish, and the synodontis. So you can see if we scroll over to the fish farming page, so synodontis can give us roe, raw gold at 4 fish, pyrite at 6 fish, and precision mechanisms at 8 fish, which is pretty good, especially the raw gold option. Whereas if we look at something like these circus fish can give us artifact troves, yard work yearly, Lilitu single malts. Where does the fish get access to alcohol? That doesn't make sense to me. But then it gives you 4, so that lets you sell for $1,000, which is pretty good. I wonder what's the best. Artifact troves are nice because they give you access to artifacts. Arapaima will give us emeralds, which is nice. Piranhas will give us frozen tears. So they all have their benefits. I guess eventually you just want to have a fish pond for every single type of fish, so you get access to every material. But I think just to start, the Synodontis is probably what we're going to go with, because gold is mildly rare. Well, technically, it's not really rare. There's actually a very easy way to get a lot of gold via the mining skill, but I guess we'll start with that one for now, just because it was the gift I got from our quest book. First things first, though, we're going to dive into the water and place some more crab traps. So we're going to place one here. That's a little far. We could be a bit more efficient. So put it right next door. Right there, right here, right there, there, and then I'll place the last two over here. There we go. So now we just need to put bait into all of these. And once I get more bait, I'll fill out the rest, and we can check this one, furniture and junk. So far it's not really useful, but they're completely passive, and you just have to fill them with fuel to keep them going. So eventually, they'll pay off. But in the meantime, our blueberry fields are ready for harvest. So let's make a ton of money and then set up our fish farm. So after harvesting all the blueberries, we are at, throw all that in there, take out the money, $18,000. Nice. We'll be back to rich in no time. Let me open this furniture box. We could also just sell the furniture boxes. I don't really need them, like the furniture inside at least. Now, the funny thing about fish ponds, if you want to be very efficient, then what you could do is build them in a single chunk. Why can't I highlight chunks here? I could probably claim the chunk, right? No, how do I claim chunk? Chunk overlay. There we go, chunk claiming mode. So this is a chunk right here. So we're in it. And how did it say? A 3x4 of water behind the pond. So like this. So there's 3, then 4, 2, 3, 4, and but the rest, just like that. Let's grab some water buckets to fill in the water behind it. And like I was saying, so if you want to be efficient and have them all in one chunk, part of the things that make this a little annoying, and let me grab the rest of this water to fill this in. There we go, perfect. Is this multi-block cannot be adjacent to another fish pond. You cannot have them share walls. But what you can do is stack them vertically up and down. So you could just have a fish pond stacked on top of another fish pond and another, and the fish pond does have automation blocks that are very expensive. Yeah, fish pond basket. It harvests the output of fish ponds into the inventory below and uses the skills of the player that places it. You can upgrade it with a bucket to extract the fish when they're mature, and it has a 3x3x3 area. But it requires a sparkstone and iridium and batteries and a sparkstone to craft. So it's more of a late game item for automating the fish ponds. The fish pond is empty. Right click it with a fish to place it in the pond. There you go. Synodontis fish. 1 of 3. So I think what's going to happen, which it's a little sad you don't actually see the fish inside, that'd be a cool little add-on, is every day the population will grow by 1, and every once in a while it will give you a quest. And then you have to finish the quest to have the population continue to grow. And then in exchange you get fish, you get roe, you get fish products, which are all pretty nice. It's just a shame they're so expensive. Crab traps are working. So after harvesting all the crab traps, we got 1 piece of Neptunium. Bunch of crabs, some shrimp, some closters, some seashells, and some clams. Now we can use those clams to get more pearls at a 50% chance. We also get the raw clam meat, which we can cook and then sell for more money. Not a lot though. I guess if you craft it into bisque, that lets you make a lot of money from it, but I don't think it's really worth it, because that's a lot of ingredients that I don't have, and I think they all... Yeah, this is a spring product, rice is a summer product, so it doesn't even all grow at the same time, which is a little annoying. But now we get a little piece of Neptunium, which we can use for making our diamond sprinklers, and expand the size of the farm. So now we're just gated by batteries, because those are still pretty expensive from the charging rods. I need to figure out a better way to get blaze lanterns, because it seems like the only way is from blazes, and I kinda don't want to fight them. Wait, a blaze fish gets you blaze powder. Blaze fish bait in a crab trap gets you blaze fish. Where do you get the blaze fish from? Luckily, if we go to the Fisher and then scroll down, we can purchase a fish finder book for $32,000 and a block of Neptunium. Okay, why is that so expensive? It does not need to be that expensive just to know where to find fish. But I'm guessing a fish that drops blaze powder is probably found in the Nether. There we go, a lava ocean. A perfect place to go fishing for some blaze fish. We just gotta get down there, which is not the easiest. If I had more rope, that'd be pretty easy, but we could just make a little elevator to go down. So now we should be able to do a little bit of fishing. Wait a minute. Isn't there a fishing rod specifically for the Nether? Fishing rod. Yeah, the lava fishing rod, which is $73,000, so I don't think I can actually go fishing here, right? Yeah, it doesn't work. Well, that kills my idea for the blaze rods. So I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way then. Well, that sucks. But at least it's not too expensive. $73,000. That's only maybe a couple seasons of farming, and we can get there. But that does mean we can't get the blazefish, and a smoked blazefish is $1,600. So they are worth a lot of money. I just had an epiphany, so I know why you would want to make the fish bait. So if we look at the Synodontis, right? Synodontis in the fish farmer right now. Actually, how often does it do this? Hover over items for more info. I don't need more info. Cultivates fish roe and various items added to the pond. Shift right click to take out a fish. You can add more than one fish at a time. So if you just want to go straight to 8+ population, I could just manually put in 8 fish, 8 Synodontis, to start getting precision mechanisms. Now I thought I heard a thing. But then I wonder, how often do these actually complete? Fish pond. Fish pond. Yeah, it doesn't actually say. But that makes sense. So if there's something specific you want to get from the fish ponds, you could take one fish that you want, turn it into fish bait, capture a bunch of those fish, and then dump all those fish into the fish pond to get a bunch of them. Now that makes sense, and since it's raining, I can use this time to go fishing some more to fill up the crab traps and hopefully get some more pearls, because I want to make some more fish ponds, because we need a lot more money so I can do some nether fishing. So while I was fishing, I was taking a look at some of the other fish farm products, and I gotta say, I think you really should have a fish farm for nearly every fish, because the products you get is really diverse, and there's some that you can only get from the fish pond. Now, which one was it? I think it was the carp, was the one I was looking at. Yeah, so the carp will get you mudstone, which is just a mineral, earth crystals, which is a crafting material, not that big a deal, but they have a small chance to give you a stone hand, which when you use on a preserves jar, decreases the input amount by 2. Which is insane, because usually the preserves take 5 items. This lowers it to 2, so that essentially makes you earn more money for less products, which is kind of funny when you think about it, like you're skimping people out on their preserves by putting less preserves per jar and charging the same amount. Call that shrinkflation. But it does make you more money, which is pretty good. Now I was looking, I'm guessing I want to use some more of our Neptunium to make a deluxe worm farm, so we can upgrade the crab trap bait into the deluxe version, because it seems like this is the only way you can do it. So there must be a way to automate the deluxe worm farm to do it automatically, because it does take less than a day, and if you have to stand there and do it, that's probably going to be really wasteful. But overall, it's not that expensive. It's 4 blocks of zinc, 2 pearl blocks, Neptunium, aquamarine, and a worm farm, and really the only difficult thing here is the pearl blocks. And the upgraded bait is good because, as you can see here, crab trap bait, upgrade, deluxe bait, when you put it in here, has a different set of loot tables. So regular crab trap bait rolls these items here, which they're okay, they're not amazing, but the deluxe crab trap bait gets us better items. It looks mostly the same though. It's a bigger loot pool, I think, that's for sure. But then you can also go all the way up to the mana version, which gives you some mana specific items, and I guess one of the biggest ones is it gets you Neptuna ingots, which is a pretty big bump from just having the little nuggets. But it does seem like it's going to take a while to get the pearls, because I'm not getting super lucky with any more pearl drops, and the only way to get pearls is by cutting clams on the cutting board for a 50% chance. So that's going to take a little while. Unless we can buy the pearls, which I don't think you can do. You can trade them from a ribbit fisher, but that's really about it. Yeah, you can't get these otherwise. Oh, I guess, oh, you can farm them actually from shrimp, closters, and crabs. But most of the drops are kind of bad, as you can see here. It's not the best. Oh, that's interesting. So Neptune's bounties drop a guaranteed prismatic shard when mined without silk touch if you level up to this one. So that actually means you should save all of your Neptune's bounties until you get here so you can cash them out for prismatic shards, because that's honestly a really easy way to get a lot of them if you're fishing a lot. Yeah, these ones at the ends are not that good. Doubles a fish being retrieved from fish ponds if it was born there. Doubles chance of receiving non-row items from ponds, stacks with sea biscuits. I guess early game, you should definitely go for this one, because if you keep all of your Neptune's bounties, you could have like 30 ready to go. No, probably even more, maybe like a stack by the time you get to this upgrade. And then you can reset and go to this line once you have a bunch of fish ponds for that infrastructure. Because I wonder, what can we use prismatic for? Prismatic. You can buy a lot of things for them. So the red hook, iridium backpack needs one. There's a lot of stuff you can trade with them for. You need them if you want to upgrade to the Galaxy Sword or the Meowmageddon, which that sounds hilarious. Meowmageddon. Do they do the same? It has one more damage. Oh, but it takes the Galaxy Sword, so that's technically like a tier up. Interesting. And they're just worth a lot of money too. Oh, you also need them for the building gadgets. I didn't see that. Now let's see. It's a new day, so our fish pond, I think, will give us a quest. No. But we could check on it to see if it's at 3 population, because it should be. Oh, there it is, the quest. So let's see here. Because I'm thinking, I've never actually, when I played Stardew, I never actually invested in the fish ponds, because those were added in an update long after I was playing it. So let's see. Oh, it gives you the row. Cool. But then it says of 3, so how do you make this go higher? Fish pond, 3 of 3. So how do I make this hold more fish? Sometimes the fish will request items in order to grow their population. So I guess it's just random. So if you wanted to go past 3, you just have to wait. But we get a bit of row. And if we put it in a preserves jar, you can preserve it into aged version. 305 adds $500, which is pretty good. And if you eat this, it gives you a crazy amount of saturation though. Interesting. So I guess with the fish ponds, the earlier you start them, the better. What are you doing in there? Because they take a long time to scale. But I think with that, we've covered pretty much everything there is with fishing. There's nothing really left to teach or learn about. There's probably some like hidden mechanics with doing like certain setups or what the best fish are, but that's pretty much all the basics, which is pretty good to cover in one episode. The only thing we're missing is we still need a couple of items needed to do better worm farms so we can make the fish bait and the artisan fish so we can get more money. We also need to upgrade the fishing rod to the nether one, but that's actually just buying a different fishing rod. That's not an upgrade, so we'll work on that. But other than that, there's not too much left with fishing. It's mostly more late game stuff that we can work on towards the end. So, as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and next episode we're going to venture into the Skull Caverns and see if we can get some lead.